Um, Not every game is gonna be like the same cadence, and I think we're just understanding that more and more. Um, so everybody kind of just stuck to the game plan. They had guys that made shots, so you kind of got to tip your hat and just kind of stick with it, which is hard in the moment when they're making a run and certain things you scout they're still doing. So we just tried to buckle down on the stuff that we can control, and ultimately that kind of like jumped the lead up a little bit. We got a little scrappier, and I think we were able to push the lead.
What was your perspective in particular on Lou's activity defensively
Ridiculous.
in that quarter, especially when he's three
How many steals do you have? Yeah. Oh, twin. Uh, yeah, no, that's insane. That's what he does. Even the jump ball. I don't know if that counts for a steal, but just the jump ball he had with Ayton, I think, set the tone and what he was able to do defensively, just kind of getting his hands on a lot of loose balls and tip outs and stuff like that. It's just that's why he's here, and he kind of relishes in that role, and I think that kind of jump started a lot of the fire that we had playing in the second half.
Jalen, the ball movement tonight, and it just seemed like the extra passing and really trying to keep their bigs out on the perimeter. How did you guys maintain that flow all night?
Just trusting one another to make plays. We say it a lot. Just next man up, next play. Try and get to the next action, and it just so happens that when everybody's moving the ball, you get their bigs out of rotation, and try and keep them from staying in the paint. And I think that kind of opens up driving lanes, and obviously we shot pretty well tonight too, which I think spaced the floor. And from there, it's just trusting one another to make a play.
A couple times now you beat the first half buzzer. Is this the thing?
Yeah, it's just one of those like things you practice where you're trying to do end of clock stuff, and something we try to avoid defensively is being ready for those last like 5 seconds to not give up clean looks. I think my past 2 years, Mark has kind of thrown me in that position. Like, if you're tuned into Thunder basketball, yeah, I come in with like 8 seconds left usually, and it's me and Shea, and try and get a shot with that amount of time, and it's just something I'm continually learning on where to get to on the court with.
Have you noticed any video of where you're playing tomorrow night in Toothdome, the $2 billion arena from home of the Clippers? Have you been kind of eager to all the play there?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, the new arena, right? Yeah. It should be cool. Right now, I'm looking forward to this long 2-hour flight that we have. But yeah, it should be cool. I think any new arena is going to have a different sense to it, which would be really cool. And yeah, I'm looking forward to how that even works out. I know Katie said it was like one of the best environments that he'd been in, so hopefully it's rocking.
So you guys have been pressing some full court, half court trapping, playing zone. How big is the menu right now defensively, even this early in the season?
I mean, we got guys guarding the 5 at 6'4", so menu's pretty big. I think we're just trying stuff out. I feel like Mark probably have a better answer to that question, but we're kind of just ready to go whenever he tells us to do something, and we trust how smart our coaching staff is. And I think like anything, the more you work on it and the more you buy into it, you get pretty good at it. So it's just one of those things that we're trying to do as a team, and just understand that you never know when you're going to need it down the road, and I think it's just good for us to look at different things.
Chet got in foul trouble in the third quarter, had to go out. You guys had to go small. It might have looked like maybe a disadvantage, but you guys actually flipped it during that time. Did you take that as a challenge? Did the whole team take that as a challenge to play big?
This is not the first time that we've had to play a small lineup, so it's not even anything new to us going out there. And obviously, when one man is down, you try and pick him up and cover for him, and I think we did a good job of that, just being scrappier. And that's something that we've tried to harp on too, where we don't want to constantly put them in positions to make a play at the rim and cover for us so much. So the more that we can go rebound and help him out a little bit on the boards and just defensively, it takes a lot of pressure off of him, and something we've been harping on all year. So just kind of like another next man up mentality, and we understand we're small and just trying to cover for him when he's not in.
Do you think your zone defense makes it harder on the opponents, make them think?
For sure. I think a lot of it is because we don't know what we're doing either, so everybody's trying to figure it out. But I think when you're able to throw different looks at a team, it can throw off rhythm, and it's just another thing that we're continuing to look at.
Kind of the intensity ratchets up there, and you guys rise to the moment in that third quarter?
Just the toughness. Our team was kind of struggling to find a little bit of juice in that third quarter. I thought we got we began to play with a little bit more toughness, got a little bit scrappy down there, fighting for boards, kind of flying around on the defensive end. And that was big. That helped change the game and kind of just, shift things back our way. So that was big for us.
You made some massive threes in that second half. There's the physical, competitive scrappiness too. How do you kind of marry that with the poise and the finesse to actually knock down big shots?
Yeah, I mean, still kind of understanding, you're playing in a basketball game and you gotta be able to kind of focus and do it on both ends. But even on the offensive end, missed shots, some offensive rebounds, diving on the floor when there's loose balls. So still kind of a scrappy mindset and attitude towards it all, but still being able to kind of stay composed and play within the system.
What goes through your mind when you see Lou jump up with 8 and rip the ball? I think it was a jump ball, but he lifted the ball out of his hands.
Yeah. It's Lou Dort, like this Lou type of things. Kind of not surprising at this point from some of the things I've seen him do. So still kind of shocks you though. When he did it, when he like jumped the one time in the air and kind of just like grabbed the ball. I'm looking at Kaysen on the bench and I'm like, what's wrong with him? So unique player.
Was there a particular message just at halftime in terms of obviously Portland had gone that massive run and you guys came out with such intensity in that third quarter?
Yeah, just kind of double down on our game plan going into the game. Making sure that we were just kind of trusting what we had in that first half. They made some shots and they were playing pretty well. But our game plan kind of we kind of got away from that in the second quarter, especially. So going into halftime, just kind of getting back to our principles and the things that we wanted to do. And in the third quarter, we kind of shifted and got back to it, and that helped us kind of take back control of the game.
And just as someone who was once a two-way guy, a young guy in this league, what's it like for you to see Malachi and Dylan, both of those guys, get their first NBA points?
Yeah, special moment, man. It's awesome. The minute Malachi even got his free throw, I told him like we got to cut the ball in half because both him and Dylan scored, and like you try to get him the ball. Told him we got to get that frame, half the ball. But I mean, it's a special moment, man. A lot of people dream of being able to just score a bucket in the NBA. So for those guys to kind of be on the boards and have that beginning start now, it's awesome. So.
You're at the Clippers in less than 24 hours. Do you know much about their new $2 billion arena that you guys are going to be playing tomorrow night?
I've heard that it's a nice arena. I know some people have spoken pretty highly of it who have played there already. So looking forward just to kind of seeing, the setup of it all. But, still got the mindset to go in there and try and get a win.
Changes the game.
Great competitiveness. I just thought the physicality, intensity, connectedness was big time. I mean, it was just a lot of toughness plays. I mean, the Dort steals were ridiculous, and great offensive rebounding quarter, great activity and help. I just thought end of the second quarter we deviated a little bit from the plan, and they got really loose and made us pay. Credit them. And then we got kind of back on track, and it was good to see us find those solutions. And lean on those solutions in a game that got really tight.
Offensively, all 12 guys that went out there registered an assist. It seemed like you guys continued to try to move their bigs out of the paint, play through the perimeter. Tell me about what you guys were able to orchestrate on that end.
Yeah, I thought that end all night was really good. We really kept the ball ahead of them and pitched it ahead, got the ball moving early. I didn't think I thought San Antonio was our weakest outing offensively in the 4 games, just in terms of the way we want to play. And tonight was maybe our best, and they were physical with us. They had really good defenders on the floor. They threw different things at us, and yet we solved problems with 5 guys tonight.
Mark, it's early on in the season, but from the 5 games in, it looks like your team doesn't get rattled when things don't go right.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of been a mark of these guys. They do a great job of just staying steady, through the ups and downs of the game. They understand the nature of the game. They know it's 48 minutes. We've had different experiences that we've learned from, I think. So I I thought we really course corrected tonight. It wasn't just the poise. I thought we really had great intentionality coming out of halftime. We made a decision that our defense, really needed to get tightened up, and for us to course correct that quickly was very encouraging.
And Oos continues to trend up.
Yeah, yeah, he was great tonight. He's made some physical plays. He was good on offense. He's always had a great feel, but the physicality that he's bringing to the game is just a huge jump developmentally. He's worked really hard for that, though. He had a great summer. He's worked incredibly hard. He spent all that time with the Blue at the end of last year, so he's grinded it out, and I'm happy for him that he's contributing the way he is.
Small lineups were particularly small, just in terms of height.
Yeah.
Like a necessity thing, just with the front court and Chet in foul trouble or matchups, and do you like that as something maybe down the road, just like having a quiver forward or being able to draw up there?
Yeah, it's been kind of something we've done dating back to 2 years ago. Cameron Williams played the 5 a lot for us that year. We've mixed it in at different times over time. It's a weapon for us, and it's small at the 5, but there's like cumulative size out there. Shea's big, Dort's physical, Kayson's physical, Caruso and Dub are like bigger wings. They can size up. Wiggins helps us there a little bit. Oos, obviously has great size for a wing. So, we're small at one spot, but cumulatively across the board, we try to keep, some wing size out there. But just it requires great energy in order to pull that off. And I just thought the defense and then the offensive rebounding in the third quarter was a great mark of that energy.
Do you cycle through lineups at this point to try to get everybody tying with everyone, or do you think about those sorts of things so you have that sort of malleability down the road?
Yes. Yeah, the lineup fluidity is, we've just got a lot out of it. It's developmental, first of all. It gets a lot of guys on the court. It keeps everybody engaged in a long season. Even if it's not your night, it could come around to you very quickly. And then the guys that are every night players, it gets them playing in different lineups with different teammates. And from a developmental standpoint, that puts them in. You don't develop in in a narrow, rigid system. The best way to develop is to be constantly have to evolve and constantly have to adapt. And so I think all of our players have benefited from it, regardless of where they are on the roster. And then the secondary benefit is the opponent doesn't know what you're doing on what night, and so you can kind of stay a step ahead if they are worried about that sort of thing.
Everybody on your team is a screen setter. It seems like Caruso's particularly adept at.
He loves it.
Yeah.
He's very enthusiastic about it.
Why do you think that is?
He's a winner. He wants to help the team win. He had 6 points tonight. It's like season high. And he just has his fingerprints all over the game. He does everything invisible to help your team win, and he understands the value of those things. And so he does love it. He loves screen setting. He loves offensive rebounding. He loves helping in gaps, because he wants to win, and he understands the value those things bring to a team. It's had a very potent effect on us. I think he's earned a lot of respect from our team, who, in their own right, last season, had a lot of success. But he's impressive.
If you were to show a younger player film of him as a screener, is there anything technique-wise that stands out to you about him and his effectiveness as a screener?
No, it's to me, the fundamentals are the same as the rest of the guys. They all kind of have it. He smells them out. He had one with Dub tonight in transition. He had the one with Shea the other night against Atlanta. He was open against Atlanta. No one was guarding him. This guy fell down, and he turned around, screened Shea's guy, and got him a 3. So it's how quickly he gets to it that I think is unique.